Thank you very much to the company for having me here sharing with you our patient selection experience on the EDoF lens, the Enova advanced lens, which is very, very interesting. Probably you are familiar with the essentials of this lens, which provide us with very good sharper vision with a monofocal-like halo and glare profile. It provides us with very strong intermediate vision, and it delivers even more near vision than promised. Regarding the material, it's a 100% glistening free. So this is very interesting. Regarding the material also, we have a very smooth delivery when implanted. But the essential here, under my point of view, is the so-called light tailoring structure with two areas, a central one providing us for the long distance, intermediate and near vision ranges, and an enhancement with the ring here for the intermediate and near vision performance. As ophthalmologists, we tend to compare it to the accuracy of VVT. We have a central wider area and thicker area, accounting for a larger adaptation with suboptimal cases in kappa and alpha angles, and also the tolerance to decentration. Here, with the theoretical defocusing, we see in the drawing here the behavior in the far vision much better than the reference lens, while maintaining a very good intermediate and the first near vision. The claims have been tested with the USAF target images across all types of pupillary areas in the far distance and for the photopic in the intermediate with similar results. Finally, the technical features, you probably know, essentially having an optic angle of 0. It's an hydrophobic acrylic lens, as you all know, with a glass transition temperature, allowing at room temperature a better unfolding when implanted. And this 100% glistening free, it has a range from +10 to +30. As surgeons, whenever we approach a surgery, we need to imbalance, and it always depends on our own psychology. The opportunity of aiming for the moon, but always fearing shooting to your foot. So a failure is something that you want to avoid, and this type of lens offers you a very broad security margin. Here, in the ophthalmological evaluation, we have included the peculiarity of the aberrometry with the eye trace, and always the retinal and glaucoma issues, alongside with the pupillary reactivity. And we check back in every preoperative visit everything related to the myopia, because probably you are planning a surgery for 6 months and you need to watch out for ectasia or whatever changes you might find. Our experience is based on the decisions that we are taking based on a file with barometric results on different type of lenses. So the experience that we are going to display is based on the initial cases in a study that we are carrying out in our clinic with our financial support. And we are going to have a small sample of 35 patients. So here we are going to see the first 9 cases, where our objectives initially were mainly having a perfect far vision with the absence of the photic phenomenon, and having some extent of intermediate and even, I would say, we were aspiring to having a mobile phone vision at 60 centimeters. We are analyzing in vivo, and we are paving the way now that we have gained the confidence in the average cases to a further extent to former indications of monofocal that we are going to show you. This is a typical good case of a professional driver that was offered with this implant with a nuclear cataract and a narrow anterior chamber. This is the dysfunctional lens index that we analyzed before, and it was converted into 10 in the postoperative period. We have the similar results, and because of the larger area, even with suboptimal angles, either kappa or alpha, we find very good satisfaction of the patient and very good results. Here, we are showing some of the early results in the postoperative period, always having very good vision, but quite often suboptimal angles here. This is the average, the mean uncorrected visual acuity in the FAR analysis, going from a preoperative of 0.256 to down to minus 0.078. So patients are very satisfied about the promises of the FAR vision. And the dysfunctional lens index improves a lot in the postoperative and will improve even further. This is pointing out at some findings, even without complaints of the patient. We are observing closely about the result of this spherical equivalent, and we are tending to opt for the first minus selection of the lens after the biometric analysis. So once we have gained the confidence in the lens, we are broadening the spectrum of implantation. Some people say is where you build your prestige in your challenging cases. I'm more of the opinion of building the prestige is on an average case and delivering what is expected. But here, in those challenging cases, with this type of optic design, is where a high-performance lens is standing out. And this is the experience that matches our routine use of the Enova Advanced EDoF lens. Many cases, for instance, this gentleman, age 37-7, he has an ongoing cataract in this bit previously operated on retinal detachment by other colleagues. And he has a central retinal status, which is very, very normal in the other eye. So we are going to approach his cataract surgery in both eyes. And we don't want to go on monofocals. We don't want to go on monofocal in this eye. And the patient will need some extent of near or close to near vision. In spite of atrophies in the central area after retinal detachment, with, for instance, this patient that was referred to us with a glaucoma and a retinal detachment, we tend to analyze with the Maya the central function, and we are assuming those patients who had those retinal pathologies that might be recurrent, that those pathologies might be coming back, but in spite of this, we can provide them with a good solution whenever we have a good central fixation test. And furthermore, this is a patient who was operated on with EDoF lenses. The Enova Advanced, in spite of having this early age-related epiretinal membrane. And as far as the lens behaves as a monofocal mostly, and the patient doesn't want to have this membrane removed because quite satisfied about the vision, we are in the confidence that if we ever need to peel this membrane, first of all, the vision of the retinal membrane for the surgeon is not going to differ as much when compared to a monofocal. And second, if axial length is going to change after surgery, although minimal, the tolerance of a wider or broader focusing point of this EDoF lens is going to grant us with superior satisfaction. Never forget the analysis that we need to check, especially the pupillary area. We are very curious about diseases affecting the contraction of the pupillary area, because this lens has a superior performance and we might be opting for this type of implant. And finally, this is the result of a 85-year-old lady with age-related macular degeneration, dry form, in a steady condition, also with photobiomodulation treatments. She has very good vision with this lens. Keeping with the analogies in sports, stepping back from trifocals might be a winning game. So in those cases where the situation might be confusion, if you are able to convince the patient for less promises in the reading glasses, probably prescribing this type of lenses will be a winning game. Finally, I need to remark that for us, this lens is a real front runner. It delivers an unsurpassed quality of vision in our experience. And the patient opting for trifocals need always to imbalance the superiority of the long distance vision of this lens. So nowadays, stay with quality controls in your practices, even having a feedback of the patient about the patient satisfaction. If you don't do it now, probably patients will do it through internet. So get ready for these changes. And nowadays, it's a safe choice. It's number one of our most preferred base selection. And I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you very much.